Hi, my name is Gina Beecher, and I've been attending Lakeside since 2010. Growing up in my parents' church, the being saved meant more than just an inside change. It was a process of church membership and baptism and lots of lifestyle changes. Kids who weren't a part of the church I attended would consider us as like goody-goody kids and would make fun of us for not having the social normal things that other kids did. On the outside, I looked like I was a good person, but on the inside, I was just confused and insecure and really lonely. And I met my now husband Adam when we were in high school, and he was the first person in my life that actually started challenging some of my beliefs. I got married after my undergrad, and we moved down to Iowa City, and I started grad school there. Adam was still in college. The pastor there often talked about belief to be saved. All you need to do is believe. I thought it was too easy because I thought Christians would just say, "Oh, I believe in Jesus," and then just go on living however they wanted to live. And the book of Romans definitely taught me that Paul speaks about how it is through faith you are saved. But do we continue sinning? No, we don't, because of the love we have for Jesus Christ. The woman across the hall from us, we were in an apartment, started leading a women's Bible study. It was supposed to be for single women, but they all invited me since I was across the hall. That, in combination with going to church and hearing the gospel over and over and over again, is what I needed to really see that what I needed to do was just to surrender my life. And there was a communion service one Sunday, and I was by myself, and I had fought the surrendering for a while because I didn't want to cry in church. It's kind of silly, but that day, because I was by myself at church that day, I just really felt like I could let it go. And so I prayed and asked God to forgive me for my sins, and I feel like that's the day that He really saved me. For me, it was a control issue, just letting go of the control. Instead of saying, I can do this and this and this and be saved, I actually had to give it to God, and that is what was the hardest for me. My husband and I moved out to New York City, and we were going to a church there, and I was growing, but it was very slow. One of the things that you needed to do to be saved in my parents' church was to be baptized, and I really struggled with that because I didn't do that immediately. I eventually moved back to Iowa to be closer to our families, and I knew that was something that I needed to do, but I was afraid to tell my family. I just realized that everything God was taking me through, I was always fighting it. He was always ready to go, and I was always the one saying, no, I don't want to do this, I'm not ready. And I realized that my attitude was never wasn't in the right place. Eventually I knew that it was something I just needed to submit to the Lord and follow His instructions in the Word to be baptized and to make my profession of faith public. I'm now in a place where I am assured of my salvation. It's not my works or anything that I can do that saves me. It's the belief that I have in Jesus, and the more I know Him and the more I study and learn about Him, the more I desire to love Him and to give more of my life to Him.